Good morning, everyone. Welcome back to our weekly commodities update. This is where we do analysis on natural gas, US dollar, oil, gold, and silver. We'll be looking at their support and resistance levels as well as the most likely scenario price will likely head to for later this week. And let's guys are looking for the stock market update video where I did the S&P 500 as well as the Mag 7. Check out the previous video. And let's get started on natural gas. All right, so natural gas here, same spot as the last couple of weeks, but we are starting to break out for the bulls. So that's a good sign. So far, you can see this is the resistance, resistance, another one here. And look at, for this week, we pretty much just grind right underneath it. So usually that's a sign that the bulls wants to break out. If you grind just slightly underneath resistance, you can see all these lower wicks, right? Grinding just under it, dips, gets bought up, dips again, gets bought up, dips again, gets bought up. And then Friday, we just broke out. So what we want to see is follow through, right? We don't want to get one of those breakout days, right? And then just kidding, right? So let's see if we get some follow through here. It's a good sign that bulls finally shows a little bit of being alive here, right? Big move up, consolidate, another move up. But we're not out of the woods yet, right? You can see super clear here. This triple top here, right? We gotta break this 3.8 to have any kind of meaningful move. We break 3.8, now we're looking at $4. If we break $4, we're looking at 4.15. So yeah, so let's see if this breaking out of this downtrending line is the very first step for the bulls, and let's see if they get follow through. And also as well, right? This is the support that's been holding multiple times. We've been looking at this support for multiple weeks and saying that if this longer term head and shoulders don't play out and the support holds, it's a good sign for the bulls, right? We zoom into the weekly. It's pretty much a weekly head and shoulders, but it's not playing out at the moment for the bears. So, and we talked about this on the monthly time frame, where is this going to be the monthly higher low set here, right? So monthly higher low just means that is this going to be the first time where bulls try to hold, for a monthly higher low? So if there's a higher low, are we going to head to a higher high? So that would be probably a couple of months out if that does happen, right? We are 43% away from the last monthly high. That would be, if we do confirm that would be the first monthly uptrend since we dumped, essentially. So last time, you can see here, big move up, just kind of like similar here. Big drop, but still held the higher low, right? We didn't break the prior low. Higher high right here, right? Breaking the prior high. That's the first monthly uptrend come from here since this big drop that it had. So it's been a while since we had that monthly look. Let's see. It had to bounce about 45% as well. So it's not impossible for it to make a higher high here. But there will be a lot of structures that got to change. We got to see a daily uptrend first, a weekly uptrend, all form here, and then head higher and grind higher to break that high. So we'll take it one step at a time. First thing for the bulls, get some follow through right after this breakout and hit that $4 mark before you even think about this longer term picture. But obviously it's good to have, always to have that good longer term outlook in the back of your mind. Right, this was very clear monthly downtrend, lower lows and lower highs, right? Each of these pivots are lower. And then finally, this is the first big move that we broke above these pivots. So it's a monthly neutral trend at the moment. But let's see if bulls can shape up that monthly higher low here, hold that support, and see if we can bounce here. Yeah, so far it's looking okay, right? So far they've been defending level multiple times, many times here already. So yeah, if your chart looks a little bit different than mine, make sure you click this B80J, adjusted for contracts, right? So you don't go get these contract gaps. Look similar as mine for these future tickers. All right, let's look at oil. If you guys want to learn more about technical analysis, feel free to check out the Patreon page. And if you guys just want to talk about anything, go to book that 15-minute free call. And let's continue with oil. Feel free to like, share, and subscribe and support the channel. It's all free. And we're still just right underneath resistance, right? Rejection here. And we're just like right there. But it's a good sign that we broke the first resistance, right? So let's zoom in here a little bit. So this is the ascending triangle. Breaking pretty much on Friday. So you can see these tops, quadruple tops, even on Tuesday, Wednesday, Thursday, all the same top, same lows, and then we finally broke above it. And you can see all these lows are higher than the prior low, so that's pretty much what an ascending triangle is. But let's see, same thing as natural gas. Let's see if we get some follow through here, right? This is if we just close above all these levels, and let's see if we can break the next level, which is this green line that I'm looking at. So if we get break here, I want to see also break above 65.7, which is the kind of like the entry gateway into like this whole structure, right? If we can't even crack through these lows for the prior structure, then we're not going to come back to this structure. And that red line is also this prior resistance that we had, right? Sorry, prior support, right? Bounce, 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 bounce. If you zoom out earlier, right? All these bounces. So now it's going to act as resistance because price is underneath it, coming towards it. So you can see how even here, right? Near term was also acting as support. You can see when we break through that, look at that big flush. But now we're coming back to backtest it. So there's a couple of coinciding of resistance right here, right? So be careful of that. Even though we did break this ascending triangle resistance bull at this $64, now we're like coming right into the next resistance pretty much right away. So this the 64 to the 66 zone will have a lot of resistance. If we can clear that, then we're going to come up to the 67.7. Yeah, it's pretty much for the bulls. And for the bears, you just want to pretty much reject from this congestion of resistance area, roll back underneath this ascending triangle breakout, and come back and test the lows and try to break this pivot right here at this $60 support level. There's a lot of support here, right? Bounce, bounce, bounce. Because how many times we bulls try to bounce here. All right, let's take a look at US dollar. Yeah, it's still looking not great for the bulls at all at this moment. Still teetering on that longer term support, kind of holding here. This red line, let's zoom out here, show you guys. It's pretty much a big megaphone, right? Sports bounce, bounce, bounce on the weekly. It's holding, held here. It's trying to hold again on the weekly. You can see the weekly lower wick, right? Last week it tried to hold it too. This week it tried. And rejection. So longer term outlook, and this is pretty much where it's going to trade within those red lines. But when we zoom in, it's just kind of like daily downtrend and ugly chart, just grinding lower and lower. So bare minimum, let's see if the bulls can break above this whole congestion of sideways area that we have been trading in, right? 98 to 100 essentially. It'd be nice if we can break above this pivot and get a weekly uptrend, right? See if we can hold this weekly higher low here, meaning this low is currently higher than this low. So it's a good sign. And then if we can bounce back above this prior high, then I think the bulls will be okay. But at the moment, we may even just go sideways tightening range like this, right? Huge move up, give back pretty much all of it, huge move down. So that's the recipe for potential tightening range. Going like this, pretty much an equilibrium. which makes sense, right? We have a lot of policies, drama, all that kind of stuff, and going on with the economy and a lot of uncertainty. So if it goes sideways, to wait for more clarity, I wouldn't be surprised. Oh, something like this. Can we tighten up? All right, let's take a look at silver and gold. Okay, so gold got a breakout here on this, just this mini resistance line. I wouldn't call this, a strong resistance, right? We're literally all-time highs, and this is just a little downtrending line that's been forming for the last couple weeks. So we got a breakout. You can see the volume here on Monday, and then we aren't really getting much follow through. So this is what we don't want to see on natural gas and oil. You got that breakout, which looks pretty much just like this, and then the next couple of days just goes like this, and then just rolls back. But for now, it's still okay for bulls, right? We got a few days of sideways, came back test, and that's it, right? We haven't broken through it and cracked through it like that, so it's not a red flag at this given moment yet. Breakout, back test. Ideally, it would be nicer if we got a breakout, a little bit follow through, back test, and then go bounce like that. But if the bull shows up Monday or overnight Sunday and bounce here, that's no big deal, right? It's just you can see all these upper wicks, prior resistance, breakout, back test, which also coincides with this green line. It's back testing the green line of the breakout as well at the same time. So we bounce here, no reflex. For bears, you want to crack through that, right? Crack through all these prior supports, crack through that green line. So this would be a failed breakout, and then come down to test this 32,600, not 32,000, 3,260 area, and where all this volume is at, and test this level. And you guys can crack through that. That's a bear break. But at the moment, as long as we don't break below this pivot, bulls are okay. We'll still be in a weekly uptrend. If we break through that pivot, it will become a weekly downtrend. So this pivot is the real key at this 3150 level. As long as we hold above 3150 and continue to chop sideways, it's a win for the bulls, right? After a huge move up, and if you consolidate, right, sideways at the highs, it's absolute win for the bulls. No signs of red flags. This could just be a monthly bull flag, which is kind of forming at the moment. Big monthly move up, flagging at the moment. So we'll see if it continues to just flag. And let's take a look at silver. So silver, for the first time, well, not for the first time, since this move, let's see, show you guys. Since there's relative strength in this move, and then it just chilled a bit, and then formed a weekly bull flag, and you can see silver's finally get that rotation in, right, versus gold. So look at it, big move up on gold, 5.6%, 2 times the move of gold, right? And then it went sideways here for gold, and then gold went red, and you can see silver still going green. So silver's finally getting that bull flag weekly breakout and plus rotation. So finally getting rotation into silver after this whole cluster of sideways, while gold's making new all-time highs every single day. While this thing's going sideways, they finally got that rotation over here. So let's see if it continues. So if it comes up higher, I'm looking back up at 36.8. Let's zoom out. And if we break above that, no real resistance, to be honest. We do have this cluster of thing over here in 2012, but let's be honest, nobody's still holding. I mean, some people might still be holding, right? Bag holding here, 13 years ago, but you guys know what I mean. It's not going to be like, let's say if this whole structure was like right here, right? If it was like, in 2020, 2020 to 2023 here, and that thing is like here, right? Like that price action right here. Then when we come up to it, yeah, there will be likely a lot of people still in the asset that's currently potentially wanting to sell, all that kind of stuff, right? Or buy and sell, whatever short it is, whatever it is. But if you have price action that's from like 13 years ago, yeah, we can chart it and say, okay, we're coming up to it and there's going to be resistance to it. But for the psychology of it's like, is anybody really going to still be that was in here, that's still in here? Right. So it's not as useful, but we are coming into the structure. Yeah, probably some resistance around 38.5. But I would just treat this as almost a blue sky breakout, like an all-time high breakout. But we just need to crack through here. Pretty much this is it. It's a little blip that we had in 2024. If you can crack through that, get a huge breakout here. Be nice. Ideally, gold bounces here on that support, and silver gets even more follow through. That would be the best case for silver bulls. And you know how I always say, if you're playing gold and silver for the last couple months, you're just being a gold bull and size up versus getting silver and then short silver. Now you would not short silver at all, because if you get a little pop here, this thing might just pop double of that. So yeah, we'll see if this relative strength continues, and there's no resistance much anymore other than this little area. So let's see if we can break about 36.1. We tried here for the last 2 days, but we got those upper wicks. Let's zoom in a little, see what it looks like. Okay, big breakout, pre-market, a little bit of sell-off, no big deal. Similar idea. Yeah, let's see if we can get continued rotation. We got a rotation for for 1 week, right? Let's see if it. Silver is also known for quick rotations, and then just all of a sudden, like the next week or the next 2 weeks, it's gone, right? So similar idea here, right? You can see huge move up, consolidate, get that rotation again, and then just kidding, right? Get the relative strength into relative weakness, essentially. Usually this is what happens with higher beta names, kind of like IWM. If you trade the stock market, right? Small caps sometimes get this big rotation. They bounce like 3 times bigger than the market itself, and then when they drop, they also drop like 3 times more than the market itself. So be careful if you're playing silver. Just make sure you have those stop losses, because they do move both ways a lot more than gold, where charts like gold are a lot easier to predict and it's a lot more clean. Right? You can see these trends, uptrends and downtrends, are much more cleaner, as well as the patterns. Versus this, right? Chip chop, and then you saw something else, this relative strength. Next thing you know, you get the relative weakness. Yeah. So, anyways, that's what I got for you guys. Feel free to like, share, and subscribe. As made this far and support the channel. I will see you guys next week for more updates on the market and commodities. Have a great rest of you guys' weekend.